All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And this is Brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson, Lord willing, we get straight to it, straight to the point, and that it do be edifying. But as you see from the title, and Shalom to Allah Akim, Akwath, who on the comment board, and also who may be tuning in throughout the lesson. But as you see from the title, what I want to speak on real briefly, it says, we not in a time to be living our best life. Remember, this is the time of judgment. You see, and I got the inspiration to do this lesson. Brothers out here in the Houston camp was together. What that was Saturday. Saturday. Brothers had the Passover rehearsal, kind of going over things for the Passover service. And we fellowship after. When brothers get together, we kick it. And so we was talking, and I was telling a couple of the brothers a little hobby I guess I'm picking up is fishing. Like I picked up tennis a couple weeks ago. I picked up tennis not a couple weeks ago, but a couple months ago, picked up tennis. And now I'm getting into fishing. So what one of the brothers said, one of the brothers in the camp, you call Bond, that brother go out fishing, in them deep waters. So getting to the point, he was like, yeah, bro, you could come fishing with me now. Shit, we can go on a boat, go some miles off, off the coast, so on and so forth. And one brother was like, man, shit, we ain't in the time, how he said it, he was like, we ain't in the time shit to be going out there in them deep water, something like that, to be going on the ocean, right? To be going on the ocean. He was like, you see how them waves and how rough the ocean been, these past couple weeks. We've been, if you've been paying attention, seeing different stories of boats in the ocean and waves. But nevertheless, as the brother said that, I was continued to meditate on it. But that's true. Even a simple thing is fishing, right? Going like my parents. My parents on a cruise right now, and every cruise they go on fucking buku cruises a year, right? But every time they try to go on a cruise, they try to get me and my family to go, and I tell them, look, I'm not going on no cruise. I'm not going. Look, it's not that I don't want to go and look at it. And it's the thing, we might name off some things that we not in the time of doing or getting indulged in. The thing is, some of these things may be lawful. Some brothers may be able to do them. But the times are changing to where you may be out getting involved in some of these acts, and look, all hell may break loose at that very time. What if you are on a cruise and all hell break loose? You see? Then what? Look, what if you're on a cruise in the middle of the ocean? And remember, when there's an EMP attack or the lights go out, most of these cruises are ran by electricity. Then what's going to happen on the water? So just an example of that. We ain't in the time to be traveling, checking off things on our bucket list that we always wanted to do, before I grow old and die. The things of this world, the cares of this world, we ain't in the time of that, man. Family trips, and again, yes, it's okay to go on family trips. You could take your family. Say if you hit camp already, you got a couple of days off. It's okay to take your family, to another state or whatever to go do something. That's cool. But to be flying all out, we hit Vegas this week. The next week we going to Miami. Now, if it's on your mind when you do travel, you hit brothers. You go camp with the brothers out there. That's cool too. But as far as getting overindulged in these things, man, that's why sometimes we got to draw the line. Matter of fact, let's get some precepts. Let's get some precepts. You see, you going on family trips, you flying everywhere. We going out the country this week, so you hit brothers up, I can't make it to camp, or you gotta switch your camp day because you're going out the country. Now look, what if something happened while you out the country, man? We ain't in the time to be trying to live our best life. You see, now I wanted to start with that Ephesians the 5th chapter, but let me get this real quick. And I'm gonna get the Ephesians, the 5th chapter. But let's start right here, the 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1. This Apostle Paul writing a letter to Timothy. He says, "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Mashiach Yahushua, and the things that thou hast heard among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also." Right? The men we should want to come into this truth are like-minded men, faithful men we can rely on and trust in, to push this word out, to apply the word, you see, so on and so forth. We don't want to just bring in anybody. That's your Yahushua mindset. That was John the Baptist mindset. The Lord looking for those who will remain. And Lord willing, will that number. But this is the point I wanted in this. It says, verse 3, "And thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Mashiach." Verse 4, "Because no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life." So we at war right now, and it's a spiritual war. We got a whole lot of other things to worry about in this ministry than trying to check off a bucket list of things to do before this life over with. You see? We ain't in the time, again, like I said, my parents be wanting me to go on a cruise. They don't want right now. We ain't in the time of just doing all that, right? Family trips, traveling again. A lot of these things is okay. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody's got a weekend off. Take your family out. It's cool, man. We talking about getting overindulged in the cares of this life, right? Being a passport bro. You feel me? Now you want to travel. You trying to go to different countries, trying to meet women. Look, that's another thing. We ain't in the time for you to be Hugh Hefner, man. Right? Jake try to find a woman, and lo and behold, that's Delilah. You find Delilah like Samson. She will be the one to take your strength. Or she might be used, to help you get locked. Who knows, man? The point is, we not in that time. Now, is something wrong with going out and find you a woman to have fun with for a night or two or whatever? Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You see? So it is a balance to it. All right. Hey, especially in these times with women. Look, we had in the time in life, especially here in America and in Houston, well, look, STDs running rampant. So that's another thing. Look, these Babylonian women, they already demons. Look, going out to clubs, and I'm just kind of throwing out stuff. I'm gonna get back to the scriptures, but throwing out stuff that we really not in the time for is more important things we need to focus on in this truth. Better than ourselves, doing more for the count. Right? But again, going out to balls. Ain't nothing wrong with going out to balls. Brothers do that. But every night, every night, the club, every weekend, to the point that the bartender's starting to know you. The waitress, she know you now. Come on, man. This not the time for that. And you know why? The Lord is bringing judgment. It's the time of judgment. Let me get that real quick, and I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm gonna get Ephesians. This 2 Ezra 8. This we're in a time of judgment, because look, you could be out at these places, and I mind you, amongst these people in the world, right? 2/3 heathens in the world, and I mind you, we're in a time of judgment, and the Lord mainly gonna send out judgment towards them, so we don't even want to be around. Even with my family, look, if we gonna go out the house, me, my woman, and my children, it's gonna be super early in the morning, right? Because I don't feel comfortable being out in the day, the heat of the day. Everybody out knows super early in the morning. Let's go 6, 7 in the morning. We going to the stove. You see, let's go hurry and get back, right? But let's get this real quick. This is the time we in. 2 Ezra 8 and 60, it says, "But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them." This is the point. "And therefore is my judgment now at hand." That's the time we in. The Lord's judgment is at hand. So when we go back to this 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 4, it says, and I'm gonna start at 3, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier in Mashiach." Verse 4, "That no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life." So it ain't say not get involved with the affairs of this life at all. It says entangle. Don't get caught up in it. Like a spider web is entangle himself. You touch it a little too much, you might get caught up in it. The same thing with this world. So the Lord ain't saying we can't do nothing. Remember, we have liberty. But the thing is, doing it too much. Look, that leg might get stuck. Right now, you can't move. Now the arm stuck, you can't move. Now you're just too involved in this world. You see? It says, no man that warreth entangleth. I gotta go into that word entangle just to see what it say in the blue letter real quick. The 2 Timothy 2:4 for that word entangle. See if we got a good definition. But again, this is something I was meditating on. One brother said, he wanted to take me fishing out miles away from the coast, and another brother like, man, I wouldn't be doing that right now, seeing how the Lord been, come on, man. That's another thing. We know our power about to get down. We shouldn't want to put ourselves in situations to be around his judgment. So this that word entangle, G1707. It's implico. Okay, so it ain't really got nothing. It just says to be involved with, to entangle, to entwine, right? In other words, being too caught up in this world. So going back to it, we can move on. 2 Timothy 2:4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. This is the reason why we shouldn't be caught up in this world. It says that I'm gonna say this, it's not just being caught up in the world, but sometimes overindulging in things that, look, this the thing, in things that might even be lawful. We're at a time period in world history to where even lawful things right now may not be convenient. Let me get a quick precept. Let me get this. Sometimes we know we can go out, we could take our family out, we can go here. Yeah, we know we can, mess with women. The thing is, although some things lawful, we're in a time period where it might not be convenient to our walk, right? We know the time coming when we gonna get what a scripture at. When we gonna get demonized. A man looking for women, look, Esau might be going throw out them Delilahs out there. Come on, man. We're in a time where we got to watch everything. That's why I really wanted to start with Ephesians 5. But this is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12. This Apostle Paul. He said, all things are lawful unto me. Right. So some things we can do. We have the freedom to do things, to take trips, to drink, right? And women and this and that. We have as the scriptures say, the liberty, I guess it's liberty, the word I'm using, I'm thinking of, right? Because Paul said, use not your liberty, right, as a cloak of maliciousness. So we do have freedoms to do things in its truth. The thing is, as the scriptures say, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. Let's go into that word expedient. So some things may be lawful. It may be okay to do, but in the time we in, it might not be convenient, right? So expedient says of an action of convenience. What convenient mean? Let's see. Convenient, it says fitting in well with a person's needs, activities, and plans. So some lawful things, some things of the flesh that we can do now in this world, it might not be fitting well into our plans within this ministry, man. It might not be well fitting into the plans of the course the world about to go. Again, you can go out and take a trip, take your family, y'all flew across the country. That's cool. But what if all hell break loose while you in this foreign country with your children, man? You in Haiti. You want to go to, Dominican Republic. Now you out there with, come on. Now, this is the thing. Is something wrong with taking a trip with your family? Absolutely not. But is it convenient right now? Kind of not. You see? It ain't feasible to do some things right now. And again, if a man do it, ain't nothing wrong with it. You might have a brother out there, you can camp with him, so on and so forth. But we just ain't in that time to be living our best life. Like the title say, or scratching things off our bucket list. Right? But it says, let's read this again. I'm gonna read this in another translation. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. I'm going to finish it in the KJV. So it says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. They're not convenient. It says, all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any, right? So although we can indulge in some things, Paul's saying, don't let it get you caught up. You see? Don't get caught up in it. Don't let that have the power over you to where you can't, stop doing something, or you can't remove some from your life, because now it got the power over you because you got too indulged in it. That's why in Second Timothy, Peter had to say being entangled. Right? You can do things, but once you get caught up in it, that's when it's a problem. Because again, and we're in a time, so a man could get caught up in something at the wrong time, because we in the time of the most high judgment, man. Something can happen at any time, right? Now, do that mean live our life scary, not do nothing? No, because we can't, stop what we're gonna go through in our life, right? But that's that Ephesians 5. I need to get that about being circumspect. Not as fools, but as wise. But this is 1 Corinthians 6:12. I just want to see what the NLT said. 1 Corinthians 6:12 NLT says, you say, I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. And even though I am allowed to do anything, I must not become a slave to anything, man. So yes, we have freedoms, but again, that don't mean it's good for us or convenient for us to do it. And just because we can, don't let it have the power over us to where we can't remove it from our life at any time. So yes, things may be convenient, but again, at the time period, it depends on if it's could be looked at as lawful or not. But let's finish out 2 Timothy 2:4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. So let's get Ephesians 5 real quick. And I want it down to end it. Lord willing, the point kind of made. This Ephesians chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at 14. Ephesians 5:14. It says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give thee light. So that was us, right? We was once sleep, right? Now the Lord, by way of giving us this truth through the Holy Spirit, we have arose from the dead, and now we have light. So seeing we have this light, seeing we understand what's going on, it says, verse 15, so see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So seeing we have the light, it says that we walk. And again, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, because ain't no lesson that we, expect, I'm speaking about me talking to others and not myself. These things go to myself first. You see, as a warning to ourselves first. But let's get that word circumspectly. So seeing we have the light, we know what to look for. We know what to look for. We know what people to be around, what people not to be around. It said that somewhere in Sirach, when you're around stupid people, observe the time. Let me see if I can find it. Around stupid people. Let's see if we can find it. Yup. I think this is it. This Sirach is another one. This ain't it, but I'm gonna read it. This is a good one. This is a good one to show. Look, this ain't the time period to just be around people in the world either, man. It says Sirach 22:13 in the GNT. It says, don't visit stupid people or spend a lot of time talking with them. Avoid them, then they can't contaminate you, and you can live in peace without being troubled or worn down by their foolishness, man. So come on, right? So again, going back to Ephesians 5, the Lord gave us the light so we know what people not to be around, how long to be around them, so on and so forth. So let's go into this word circumspectly. It's G1999. Acrobos. So it just said, I ain't really got nothing diligently, accurately, exactly. But when you go into that word circumspect or circumspectly, right? You got the word circumference in there, and spec or spectacle in there, right? Circum, which is all around, like circumference all around, but spec is to see. Like the elderly, they'll tell you go get my specs or my, right? Looking all around, paying attention to our surroundings, man. What's going on? Not just where we at, the state, the city, America, no, across the world. Look what's going on. Be in tune. Now that we have the light, because look, people out in this world, they not in tune. They just go out, right? They just wild out in the earth, not fearing the Lord, not understanding, look, when the time of judgment, anything can happen at any time. They take trips, right? Without a worry in the world. As if all hell can't break loose while they on their vacation, man. You see? Men deal with all these women without thinking about the repercussions that could come with it, man. So on and so forth. Again, living a life of all your best life or trying to sign off a bucket list, that's not the time for that. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil, man. We're supposed to be focusing on doing this work for the Lord, buying back the time, right? That we wasted not living this truth or not even knowing this truth. Now that we have it, like it said in Baruch 4, it was our minds to go straight now and being returned, seek him 10 times more. You see? So in other words, focus on this truth. Do the work, redeeming the time because the days are evil, man. So when the time, like the scripture say, an evil time. And I'm gonna read 17. Wherefore, be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. And people who move around this world in no fear, just traveling, living it up, that's the ones who don't understand what the will of the Lord is. Because if they did, they'll move with a little more caution, man. Like I said, I think it's First Peter, how we was once like them, going out. Let me see, going out and partying. And if I can't find it, I'm gonna move on, man. This is First Peter, it's First Peter, and I wind it down, chapter 4. Right, I get this. This is First Peter chapter 4 and 2. It says that he no longer live, talking about that old man, that he should no longer live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. Right, we shouldn't be focused on, this world and the things of this world, and fun, having fun. Right. It says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. So what they're saying, when we was in this world before this truth, we had enough. We did that enough. You see, ain't no point in going, now that we're in the truth, going back and wild out and live like people in the world again. No, we had enough, and we did enough of that when we was in the world. So it says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excessive riot, speaking evil of you. So now even some of our people now, family members, friends, they look at us funny that we don't do the same things as we used to with them, right? Talk about us, right? Or, he always with that righteous stuff with the Bible and the Israelite stuff. You see? He says, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? So they don't understand we're in a time of judgment, But nevertheless, I just want to get that. Let me end it off with this in Luke 21, which Yahushua said. This is Luke 21, I think it's around 34. Yep. Straight to the point, and I end it. This Luke 21 and 34, this Yahushua. He says, and I mind you, in this context, he ran through this is the same thing as Matthew 24 and Mark 13. So what Yahushua was talking about in this chapter is that some things that was going to happen in 70 AD and some things that was going to happen at the end of the world shortly before his coming. Right? So as he was saying about the things that was going to happen before his coming, this is what he ended it with. So he gave us the signs to look for, and this is what he said after he gave us the signs. So this is Luke 21, and I'm going to start at 33. It says, he said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Verse 34, and take heed to yourselves. Check yourselves, man. Examine yourselves. Watch yourselves. All right? So y'all know what's coming. And I'm not saying this to y'all. I'm just giving it to if Yahushua, how he was saying that to those he was speaking to at the time. Right? Because look, he told them everything that was about to go down. And he tell them, look, take heed to yourselves. Unless, so if you don't, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, right? Going out surfing and going out partying, wilding, drunkenness. You see, all turn of mind. That could be an overindulgence as well. You see, it says in cares of this life. Again, the fun that come with America in this life. You see, so the Lord is saying, look, watch out, take heed. that we don't get too caught up in it. He says, because that's the thing. He didn't say we can't do none of this. He says being overcharged with it. He never said we can't do none of this. He said, take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting. He didn't say just you surfing and drunken. Let's go into that word surfing, because I believe it's like part of this shit too. Right? And I ended after this. So he never said we can't do anything, you know. We gotta, you know, live a, although, you know, we should want to, a simple life. So this that word surfing in a blue letter. So like my internet been working slow lately. So G2897 is cry pale, right? It says the giddiness and headache caused by drinking wine to excess. It says debauchery, surfeiting, you know, again, the nightlife, right? Consummation. In other words, you know, being out in this world through, being out in this world through. But let's read it again. Luke 21:34 says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts, your mind be overcharged, doing too much with surfeiting, drunkenness, and cares of this life. And so that day come upon you unaware, right? You so caught up in this world. That's why the scripture says, what, give me not poverty or riches. You can get riches and forget about this truth. And the man can say, I never forget about the Lord, man, even if I do get rich. Well, it ain't that you're going to forget about the Lord, but you're going to be busy doing a lot of other new stuff, right? New stuff that you never did before. And now what's going to happen to the daily lessons, right? The reading, listen to the apostles and elders and brothers on YouTube. So it says, and that day shall come upon you unawares, because if you focus on a lot of stuff of this world, going on a cruise, on a family trip, something may happen that week, or a call may be had in the camp, and you ain't even here, you weren't here for it. You ain't get it. You don't know. Or a breakdown was put out by the apostles. You don't know. You know, you're on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, right? But it says, for as a snare, it shall come on all them that dwell upon the face of the earth. So watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. You know, so I'm gonna end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Hakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing. We're almost out of here, you know. And with that, shalom.